What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today I've got a story time that was sent in to me about a Minecraft kid that just absolutely lost it in class. And obviously I knew I had to make a video about it, okay? You know, you guys tend to love them. I love getting views. Everybody wins with a Minecraft kid story. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so the person who sent this in to me is a little bit older, you know, old enough where the teachers were like, you guys are responsible enough to use your phones whenever you're working on classwork, as long as it's not a giant distraction, and you guys get your work done. You're free to text, you can listen to music while you're working, whatever. You know, you guys aren't little babies. You should be able to handle listening to Spotify and doing a worksheet, which I'm not gonna lie is pretty cool. Back in the day when I was in school, these were the teachers that were usually the best to be in class with, you know? Just makes class a little bit easier. This teacher, though, obviously had one rule, which was like, just don't make it into an issue. Don't be playing games on your phone. If any other teachers or administration comes in, put it away. Like, you know, if my boss walks in, I don't want to get in trouble for you guys being on your phones, is what she would tell him. Which, you know, is fair enough, bro. I would say about 90% of the students were cool with it and understood it, except for the kid that we're gonna name Steve. We're gonna call him Steve because he loved Minecraft, but a little bit too much, you know? Like, this was the type of guy, if he went to the state fair for a tattoo, instead of getting a heart with mom through it, it would be a heart with, like, Minecraft, you know? Like, that's how much this dude was just passionate about this game. He would literally talk about it all the time, to the point where, like, the teacher had to address the class and talk about how, you know, there's not really a reason for them to be talking about video games in class. Sometimes they have to focus on classwork, and, you know, if the devices are gonna become a distraction, she'll just make it where no one can use them. One of those things where the teacher, like, didn't want to single Steve out, but everybody in the class knew that the lecture they were getting was, like, basically at Steve, you know? Nobody else was constantly talking about a video game and trying to, like, sneakily play video games on their iPad or their laptop, but alas, Steve always would, and now they're getting a lecture about, like, you guys are starting to push the line of what I'm allowing in class, and if you guys can't control it, then I'll just make it where you can't use any phones at all. Which, you know, if you're a teacher trying to be cool and one kid's just taking advantage of it, you kind of just have to be like, alright, this system's not gonna work. Anyways, Steve was the type of kid who would bring his iPad and was, like, always trying to play Minecraft in class, trying to do it sneakily, but was not very good at it, and the teacher would be pretty cool about him trying to play Minecraft at first and just be like, hey, please stop. But like I said, after addressing the class and telling them to stop doing it, and then still finding him trying to play Minecraft on his iPad after a while, she was starting to get annoyed, you know? And all this annoyance came to head on one particular day when the teacher walks into class and says, alright guys, I know usually I let you text, you know, listen to music while you're working on stuff, but that's a no-go today. I guess teachers have to get observed by the principal once a year or something, just so they can make sure that, like, they're teaching the stuff they gotta do, they have good classroom presence, all that. So they were gonna be getting observed by the principal today, and obviously, because the boss was coming in to watch the class, she just kind of told everyone that, like, hey, no phones at all, because there was a school-wide rule about no phones. So, like, what? She's gonna sit there and explain to her boss, no, I understand you made a rule for the school, but this class gets to break it? Probably not the best thing to do for an observation, so she was just like, no devices. And honestly, basically everyone in the class was okay with it, because it makes sense. Like, the logic tracks, right? What are you gonna do, get mad? Except for Steve, who literally yelled out as soon as he found out no devices were allowed that day, I can't even play Minecraft at all today? And the teacher replied, like, no, you can't play Minecraft today. In fact, you shouldn't be playing Minecraft at all. You know, you're in class, I've told you no video games. The fact that you're gonna yell at me before I'm done explaining about this game goes to show why you shouldn't be allowed to play it. And Steve's response to that is like, this is so unfair, I can't believe you would do this. I thought that you were one of the cool teachers, but clearly you're just as lame as everyone else. And like, listen, man, obviously the teacher's not trying to be lame. There's just certain things that she's gotta do for her job, and on top of it, if she was a lame teacher, she wouldn't be letting anyone listen to music, you know? But the teacher has had enough at this point, now that Steve's gonna be yelling at her, saying like, you're lame for not letting me play Minecraft. She finally snaps, and she's like, Steve, this is one day where you can't play your game in class. You shouldn't be playing it at all. But if you are so obsessed with this game that you can't even take a break for like 1 hour in class, then it's like a weird obsession. I don't care if you think it's unfair, it's done. No devices today, Steve. None. Which obviously is a little mean, but like, what do you expect the teacher to do? Imagine you're trying to be cool to somebody and they just keep pushing it over and over again, and then you're like, all right guys, please don't mess up today because I'll get in trouble. And then they start arguing with you and saying you're lame and stupid because they want to play Minecraft so bad that they can't take an hour break. I'd probably snap back too. But Steve's response to that, no iPad, you're too obsessed with it, is to reply that, like, he's not too obsessed with the game, he just doesn't understand why he can't play it in class today. And the teacher explains one more time that, like, her job matters more than Steve's Minecraft time, and if the principal walked in and saw Steve playing Minecraft on his iPad, the teacher would get in trouble. And I'm just having a hard time understanding what Steve didn't understand about that, because I feel like it's so obvious. What would he like his teacher to do? Like I said, walk up to the principal, slap him in the face with a piece of ham, and just be like, listen, let the kids play Minecraft and not learn anything. I don't think the teacher cares about Minecraft, bro. I don't think she does at all, but she does care about her job. Anyways, Steve gets really upset about this entire interaction and starts standing up and yelling that, like, he doesn't care about an observation. It's not his job to make the teachers look good. He shouldn't be punished because of the observation. And the teacher's response is that she doesn't care that he doesn't care. No Minecraft at all. It doesn't matter. He can scream as much as he wants. He's still not allowed to do it. And at that point, Steve, already standing up, starts screaming about how he hates it here and this school is the absolute worst and they should just burn it down, cause it's just a place where you can't do anything fun. And listen, bro, no one's saying school is fun, alright? Like, listen, trust me, I have a lot more fun not being in school than I did when I was in school, right? But everyone knows school's not fun. It's not the place where you're allowed to play video games for 8 hours a day. Newsflash, bro, what did you expect? Anyways, the teacher looks at him and says that, like, he needs to sit down and relax, and that would obviously be way too easy, that would just make too much sense for Steve to sit down. So Steve says no, and then drops onto the ground, almost like a plank position, and then starts rolling around, crying about how it's so unfair that he can't play Minecraft, and it's so unfair that he can't use his devices for this hour, and everyone else in the class is literally just watching this dude, this guy trying to put out a non-existent fire on him, hitting the stop, drop, and roll maneuver, over the fact that he won't be able to, like, check his wheat farm for the next 45 minutes, man. I don't know. Like, I like video games, don't get it twisted, but I'm never gonna throw a tantrum in public because, like, I can't play Clash of Clans for an hour, bro. Imagine you're in Walmart, someone's phone dies, you just hear them in the frozen section. I'm gonna destroy every Klondike bar here until I get my phone charged again. Someone better steal me a portable charger. Like, what do you mean, dude? There's just no reason to be having this much of a freak out over any video game. It just doesn't matter. It's not a life or death situation. Unless grandma's life support is fueled by you playing Minecraft, I don't understand the anger. Anyways, at that point, the principal walks in and instantly is taken aback because all he sees is Steve on the ground throwing a tantrum over not being able to play Minecraft, and he's like, this is so unfair, and so he looks at the teacher and asks what's going on, as you do, because I'm assuming when you walk in and someone's rolling on the floor, you're just like, well, this is not a normal situation. And the teacher says that she had told the kids absolutely no devices, and he had just started losing it because he wanted to play a video game, and she also mentions that, like, he does this pretty often. And yeah, he had definitely gotten upset over the devices before, he definitely was talking about video games a lot, but never to this standard, mainly because the teacher was kind of like not trying to really put the hammer down, but obviously with an observation coming, you gotta do what you gotta do. And the class kind of confirms it to the principal a bit, by yelling out that, like, yeah, he always does this. There's always the one kid that just has to chime in when the teacher's explaining anything, but thankfully it makes the principal be like, oh, okay, this might be kind of what's going on. And so the principal, like, wanting to show off how good he is at principaling, I guess, walks over to Steve and just asks him to get off the ground, which I always love when principals try the, like, super basic approach that the teacher has already tried a bunch because they just think it's magically gonna work because someone else asks. Steve does stop rolling, but he doesn't get up off the ground. He just kind of looks at the principal. And what I love about that, it means that, like, the entire time that the teacher was waiting for the principal to show up, the entire time the principal's there, the entire time the principal's having the conversation with the teacher, Steve was still just rolling around, bro. He really smacked the roly-poly formation. Anyways, he's, like, now on the ground, no longer rolling, and starts telling the principal that he knows that he has the right to freedom, and he knows what rights he has, so he knows that he's allowed to play Minecraft in class. Which, like, I'm not going to disagree that he has a right to freedom. I'm going to agree with that one. I'm just not necessarily sure that it, like, applies all the time, in that having the right to freedom freedom means that you're allowed to just like bring a gaming PC to class to slay the Ender Dragon in English. Obviously, you should be able to play video games in your spare time, but there are some times where we gotta have some rules, you know? I'm all for freedom, but like, yeah, people playing Minecraft while they drive is a bad idea. We should make some things not allowed. And the teacher or the principal, starts to explain that like he can't play video games in class. That's not one of the rights that he has, which, I hate to break it to everyone, is kind of true. Like, there's just certain times you're not allowed to do certain stuff. You can't yell fire in a crowded theater. You're not allowed to just like punch someone because you feel like it. Not that playing video games in class is the same level at all, but like obviously just saying I have the right to freedom doesn't mean that you get to do literally whatever you want, especially if it involves like throwing a tantrum in the middle of class. You have a right to throw a tantrum, but then they also have the right to take you out of the classroom, you know what I mean? Anyways, at that point, Steve gets up and he starts yelling at the principal that the principal obviously doesn't know that Steve knows his rights, obviously, and that the principal is going to be hearing from his lawyer if he really wants to maintain this no devices rule. And at that point, the principal realizes that there's going to be no amount of like talking to Steve, trying to reason with Steve, that's going to work. The second someone starts threatening a lawsuit because they're not allowed to play Minecraft in the middle of class is when you know that you're just like, all right, I guess I'll deal with your lawyer instead. At least that person might have some like rational thinking abilities. So the principal just radios into the office and says that he needs help removing a student from a classroom. And at that point, Steve realizes that he's probably not going to be able to be playing Minecraft today, so he just kind of goes out in the hallway. And when he goes out in the hallway, they don't hear him running down the hall. He's just kind of standing out there. So the principal decides at that point that he's just going to try to do his normal observation. And he starts just sitting there and tells the teacher to keep teaching. And obviously it's awkward at first because everyone's just pretending that none of that happened, trying to go back to like a normal class while also knowing that some dude is out there challenging the principal to a lawsuit because he was told he can't play Minecraft. But after about 2 minutes of the principal trying to just observe this awkward classroom now, there's a bunch of yelling from out in the hallway, and the principal goes out to see what's happening. But when he goes out, the door opens, and obviously you can hear things a lot better with the door open, and all they hear is Steve clearly yelling, "I'm not going to the office!" And as soon as they hear that and the principal leaves, the entire class just starts laughing. They had held it together a little bit while the principal was there, but obviously as soon as he steps out and they hear that he is still freaking out in the hallway, they can't help but laugh a little bit, dude. Like seriously, all of this over Minecraft, bro. I'm not saying it's always funny when someone gets upset, right? There's certain times when like someone's freaking out and it's just not entertaining. But if someone's losing their mind over like not being able to play Minecraft for 45 minutes, I feel like you have the right to giggle, you know? Your class probably is gonna start laughing if you're a teacher at that. Imagine being like, the worker trying to corral Steve to the office. Meanwhile, Steve's over there trying to look around and find anything he can to craft a diamond sword and prevent it. And I'm supposed to just sit in the classroom and not laugh at the visual of Steve 1v2ing the principal and the security guard while screaming about how he has to slay the Ender Dragon. Obviously, that would get anyone laughing a little bit. Anyways, like I said, the class at that point is just kind of distracted, but the teacher is looking pretty stressed out, which I probably would be too if it was like my observation day. And next thing I know, the principal's in there while Steve is having the great freak out. So she's looking pretty stressed, but the class is just talking about, Steve's tantrum and how crazy it was. And by the end of the day, obviously, basically the entire school had found out about it. But apparently Steve had ended up getting himself expelled because on the way to the office, he had been trying to fight the principal and the security guard that were like corralling him to the office, Corralling him like he's an angry bull. But the reason they were corralling him and like trying to work with him to get to the office is because apparently he had gotten himself so mad that when the security guard got too close, Steve had bitten the security guard, bro. That's right. In the span of 20 minutes, it went from like, oh, it's going to be a good day in class to, oh my gosh, I'm going to cry and throw a tantrum because I can't play Minecraft, to I'm going to get my lawyer to sue the school because I can't play Minecraft, to whatever, I might as well just bite the security guard at my school because I can't play Minecraft. At that point, the principal had had enough and just ended up expelling him, which is also why the entire school had been talking about it so much, is because like the class thought they were the only people that were going to see it all. But of course, he had decided to bite the security guard when there was a bunch of kids in the hall, so like it was just the talk of the school, right? But even though Steve had bitten the security guard, he was okay. He wasn't insanely injured by it. It's just one of those things where Steve's got to go if he's going to start biting the faculty. But what was really messed up about all of this is it really made the principal come down super hard on the devices rule, you know? When everybody came back in, that teacher was like, yeah, you guys aren't allowed to listen to music or text at all anymore. Because the principal was just so shocked by how bad the experience was. He did the usual boomer move and blamed the devices. But listen, you know, usually I'm super anti-boomer. If you were the dude that had just witnessed some guy bite a security guard over Minecraft, you might want to ban all iPads in your school too, you know? It sucks. The teacher really couldn't do anything about it because it was a rule from the principal, and the principal's got to keep people safe. So, like, I get why they had to do it. It does suck. But hey, that's more on Steve than anyone else involved, dude. Like, it probably could have just kept being the system it was, but Steve had to just go freak out and threaten a lawsuit, bro. Thankfully, you know, students kind of understood the same. They weren't really mad at the teachers either, and no one started biting anyone, thankfully. It wasn't an outbreak of World War Z proportions. I would seriously just love to know if Steve actually went to a lawyer and, like, how that conversation went when he found out that he had freaked out and started biting the security. You know, he gets to the lawyer's office. They're like, all right, tell me about your case. Let's see if we have a strong footing here. Okay, so the school tried to tell me that I couldn't play Minecraft in class, so I want to sue them. And they're like, okay, I'm not really sure if that's illegal. I'm pretty sure they're allowed to, you know, say no electronics for an hour, but maybe we could work with this. And also, when they told me no, I freaked out and ended up biting a security guard. And the lawyer's like, son, I don't think we're going to win this lawsuit. I think that if anything, the school could just hit him with the reverse Uno card on that lawsuit, you know? I'm suing you for not playing Minecraft. Well, we're suing you for assault. So, like, if you want to play this game, let's go, bro. Anyways, overall, I would just recommend, one, not becoming insanely addicted to any video game to the point where you, like, can't go to school without it. And two, if you are insanely addicted to a video game, don't go biting people because you're not allowed to play it, because you're just going to end up in way more trouble and look insane, bro. No one wants to hang out with a biter. That's like the least fun person to be around, dude. I don't want to have to worry about you, like, making me patient zero in a zombie movie. It's just not something I want to be stressing about if I'm sitting next to you in class. But anyways, guys, I think that's going to do it for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did enjoy it, please comment the word Minecraft down below. It just helps the video hit recommended, and I'd appreciate it. And while you're down there, you might as well slap that like button, you know, give it a good slap. Maybe bite it, I don't care, bro. As long as it gets pressed, I don't care how it gets pressed. Other than that, if you are new, subscribe, turn on those notifications so you never miss another video again. And if you want to be an absolute G, I do post the audio versions of these on Spotify. If you ever want to listen offline without gameplay, whatever floats your boat, a link to that can be found down below. But yeah, on that note, guys, I think that'll do it for the video. Be sure to comment Minecraft. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Peace.